Imagine this. You're cruising down the road, wind brushing gently against your helmet, the engine humming like a calm heartbeat. It's just you, the open road, and a machine that feels almost too refined to be called a motorcycle. That machine is the BMW S1000RR. First, it feels harmless, smooth, polite, almost deceiving. The ergonomics are surprisingly comfortable for a superbike, the electronic aids keep everything civil, and you might even think you're just riding an everyday sport bike designed for casual use. But that's the trap. That's the illusion. Because underneath that calm exterior lies a monster. An inline-4 engine producing over 200 horsepower, tuned not just for performance but for domination. Riding the S1000RR at low speeds is like putting a lion in a cage and calling it a house cat. The moment you open the throttle, the cage vanishes, and you are left face to face with pure chaos. This is where the story turns controversial, because the truth is simple. Most riders underestimate the S1000RR. They buy it because it looks refined, because it feels smooth at 40 miles per hour, because it whispers power instead of shouting it. But once the revs climb, once the electronic guardians step back and let the engine breathe fire, it becomes something entirely different. It stops being a motorcycle and starts becoming a weapon. The numbers alone are terrifying. 205 horsepower, around 200 kilograms. That power-to-weight ratio is beyond insane, and it's not just numbers on paper. It's an experience that shatters reality. Twist the throttle, and you're catapulted into a dimension where time seems to bend. The bike doesn't accelerate, it explodes. And here comes the uncomfortable question. Who actually needs this much power on public roads? Unless you're a professional racer on a closed track, there is no situation in everyday life where a rider could or should use the full potential of the S1000RR. On the streets, pushing this machine to its limits means you are either breaking the law or risking your life, often both at once. And yet, riders love it. They crave it. They will do it anyway. Why? Because full throttle on the S1000RR is not about practicality. It is about ego. It is about identity. It is about proving something to yourself, to others, maybe even to the world. When the bike rockets forward, when it screams past redline, you feel invincible. You feel untouchable, like you've broken free from the laws of physics themselves. And that feeling, that intoxicating rush, is what hooks riders into chasing top speed runs on public roads. But here is the harsh reality. The road doesn't care about your ego. The asphalt doesn't forgive mistakes. At 299 kilometers per hour, there is no such thing as a small error. And that's why this machine is both adored and hated. Some riders worship the S1000RR, calling it the perfect balance of performance, technology, and thrill. They say it's the ultimate superbike, a benchmark for all others. They are not wrong, but others see it as a symbol of everything wrong with modern motorcycling. Too fast for the streets, too advanced for the average rider, too dangerous for anyone outside of a racetrack. They are not wrong either. The average rider does not need launch control, electronic suspension, or 200 horsepower. What they need is discipline, skill, and respect. But many people buy the S1000RR not because they can handle it, but because they want the status, the bragging rights, the Instagram photos, the image of being the fastest rider in the room. And that's where the controversy deepens. Is the S1000RR empowering riders, or is it just setting them up for disaster? Let's be brutally honest. Motorcycles like the S1000RR are ego machines. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's the truth. When you roll up on one, heads turn. Other riders look. Some nod in respect, some glare in envy. You feel like a predator among prey. But that feeling of superiority can be dangerous because ego has no brakes.
Ego whispers, go faster.
Ego demands you prove yourself. Ego pushes you to twist the throttle further and further until you cross the line from control to chaos. And when madness takes over, the consequences are merciless. That leads to an uncomfortable question. Is BMW really selling us performance? Or are they selling us ego? Are riders paying for engineering excellence, or just for a sense of superiority? The answer might be somewhere in between, because the S1000RR is also a triumph of technology. Traction control, wheelie control, ABS Pro, riding modes, it's a digital fortress of safety features. But that technology comes with its own problem. Creates a false sense of security. When the bike corrects your slide, when it saves you from a high side, when it prevents a wheelie from flipping you over, you start to believe you're better than you really are. You begin to think you are invincible. You begin to push harder, not because you have the skill, but because you believe the bike will save you. And that illusion is deadly, because technology doesn't make you a better rider. It only masks your mistakes until the one mistake it can't correct destroys you. Here's the thing most people won't admit. The S1000RR was built for the track. That is its true home. On a closed circuit, with professional riders, with proper gear, with safety protocols, it is a masterpiece. But on the street, it is chaos. The street is unpredictable. Cars cut you off. Pedestrians wander into traffic. Potholes appear out of nowhere. At high speed, the smallest hazard becomes a death sentence. So when riders go full throttle on public roads, they're not just risking their own lives. They're risking the lives of everyone around them. And yet, people do it anyway, because adrenaline is addictive. Because once you've tasted that madness, it's almost impossible to go back to ordinary riding. That's the double-edged sword of a machine like this. The deeper truth is that the S1000RR is not just a motorcycle. It's a reflection of our culture. Why do bikes like this exist? Because we demand them. Because riders crave more. More speed, more power, more thrills. Manufacturers give us what we ask for, and society rewards it. Top speed runs go viral. Riders who push the limits become icons, and breaking records is celebrated. The S1000RR is not just selling speed, it is selling identity. It is selling the dream of being untouchable, unstoppable, unbeatable. But at what cost? At what point do we stop asking, how fast can it go? And start asking, do we really need this? So what is the BMW S1000RR really? It is a masterpiece, yes. It is a technological marvel, yes. It is a thrill ride that can take you from calm cruising to full throttle madness in seconds. Absolutely. But it is also a mirror reflecting who we are as riders. Do we ride for passion or for ego? Do we respect the machine or do we let it control us? In the end, the S1000RR is neither good nor bad. It is a tool, a weapon, a temptation. The responsibility lies not with the machine, but with the rider. Respect it, and it will give you the thrill of a lifetime. Abuse it, and it will destroy you. So here's my challenge to you. If you think you can handle the S1000RR, ask yourself why you really want it. Is it for the love of riding or for the love of status? Are you buying it because you respect its engineering or because you crave the power it gives your ego? Only you know the truth. But remember, this madness is only one twist of the throttle away. And that's the story of the BMW S1000RR. A bike that starts as an easy ride and transforms into full throttle madness. A bike that embodies both genius and danger. A bike that will forever divide opinion between those who see it as the ultimate dream and those who see it as an irresponsible nightmare. Which side are you on? The debate starts now. So what do you think? Is the BMW S1000RR the perfect superbike? Or just an ego trap waiting to swallow riders whole? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is a conversation worth having. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more raw superbike content, and share this with a friend who thinks they can handle the madness. Ride safe, ride smart, and never forget, the line between calm and chaos is only a throttle twist away. At the end of the day, the BMW S1000RR is not just a motorcycle. It's a reflection of who we are when we ride. It can be calm, smooth, and almost harmless when you treat it with respect. But with one twist of the throttle, it transforms into a beast that challenges not only your skills, but also your judgment. Some say it's the ultimate dream machine. Others call it an ego trap too dangerous for the streets. The truth is, it can be both, and the outcome depends entirely on the rider. So the question remains, when you're behind the bars of the S1000RR, are you in control of the madness, or is the madness in control of you? Ride safe, ride smart, and remember, between calm and chaos,